Hey, ref, time out, man. All right, team, we're only down by 5. We can still win this. Grab some water and get back out there. Wait, no, not that water. That's full of contaminants and pharmaceuticals. You need Culligan water. With their free water test and reverse osmosis purification system, you'll have clean, refreshing water just like a slam dunk. Schedule your free consultation today at Culligan.com. Culligan, your partner for better water.
Hey, Culligan man!
The roar of the engines, the heat of battle, the thrill of NASCAR is back at Homestead Miami Speedway. March 21st through the 23rd, 3 days of non-stop, heart-pounding action as the stars of NASCAR take on South Florida's most intense mile-and-a-half track. Make sure to tune in to Theoretically Speaking and Russo and Rizzo because we are giving away tickets. If you don't win, make sure to get your tickets at HomesteadMiamiSpeedway.com.
It's time for baseball in West Palm Beach. Spring training is just around the corner, and Cacti Park at the Palm Beaches is the place to be. Grab your family and friends and soak in the sunshine, green grass, and the crack of a bat. Watch the Houston Astros and the Washington Nationals take on the New York Yankees, Mets, Braves, and for the first time ever, the Toronto Blue Jays. Catch the excitement from February 22nd through March 23rd. Tickets are on sale now at cactipark.com. Don't miss your chance to be a part of the action. Secure your seat today.
This is the sound of turning small bets into legendary wins. Only on the Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook app. The sound of parlays, the sound of paydays, the sound of watching the game will never be the same. Hard Rock Bet has already paid out millions and millions in parlays to people across Florida. Download Hard Rock Bet now, and if your first bet doesn't win, get up to $100 back as a bonus bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to play. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WUUB Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
All right, hold on now. Travis Hunter, he might be on to something. Today we're going to let him cook.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell it.
Theo Dorsey is Theoretically Speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. In case you can't hear the vibes in the background, the music is blaring, the sun is giving us just enough comfortability. It's not too peaking out too hard. We're here at SoFi Center, TGL. It's a TGL Monday. Theo Dorsey in the house here on a Monday next to C-Cat, who's not on the other side of the glass on the ones and twos, but he's out here kicking it, man. I feel like this is the new normal. The new normal, we're doing just shows from anywhere. Maybe if you call up quick enough today, we might do a show from your crib.
4 days, 4 remote broadcasts. Yeah. I forgot what the Evan Cohen Studios feels like. Yeah. I honestly have no idea.
It definitely feels, it's going to feel like a road game when we get back in there. Thankfully for TGL Tuesday tomorrow, we actually will not be back here. We'll be able to go back to our home and make sure everything is still in place and in order. Damian is on the other side of the glass on the ones and twos, making sure we're all good back at the Evan Cohen Studios in City Place. Man, C-Cat, this has been probably the most intense event after event weekend of my life. I mean, in Palm Beach County right now, golf is not only the hub
right now. It's not only the golf capital of the world in general, but all of the biggest golf events going on right here. We just wrapped up the Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches at PGA National this past weekend. We both were there on Sunday to watch a new champion be crowned. Nobody saw him coming. No, not Knapp. Joe Highsmith. Joe Highsmith out of nowhere over the weekend coming out with the crown there, man. Like, that was crazy.
I was so happy for him because he is also a fellow wearer of the big floppy golf hat. I was like, wow, well represented on a grand stage. And, yes, it did coincide with a really hard to watch blow up from Jake Knapp, who made history on Thursday, was shooting a 59. He held on for long, but not long enough. He still needed about 7 more holes of competent golf and couldn't get it.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I was in the Yellow Flamingo Club on 18 at that point. I had, obviously I was doing the announcements actually for the golfers as they approached the 18 green. So once they hit their approach shot, did the walk up, as everybody crowding around the 18th hole, I would do that announcement for each golfer. So I'm near the mic, I'm kind of on guard, but I couldn't actually see the screen. And if you ever been to PGA National over there at the 18th hole, there's the big Jumbotron screen behind the green where you can see the leaderboard, you can see the scoreboard. They sometimes will, do a live look in at somebody's shot on another tee. And yeah, they showed Knapp on the 11th hole, I believe it was, struggling to get up out of that water, that little marsh area, and all golf etiquette went out the door. As in, like, everybody in the stands watching that, because of the collective, like, oh my gosh, all of the ahs and all of that was just roaring as he kept missing it. And guess what? There were golfers up there on 18, getting active, getting ready to play. It was crazy to me, man, to watch that happen. I felt so bad.
We're going to get into more of that next segment because I couldn't believe some of the decision-making that went into that blow-up from Jake Knapp on 11.
Yeah. We'll get into all of that. But again, congrats to Joe Highsmith, another new champion crowned at PGA National Resort and Spa. And again, a huge kudos to everybody that put everything on, including our friend Todd Fleming, Executive Director, CEO of the Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches. We kicked it. He had a great one-on-one with Highsmith. Afterwards, he had some stats on deck. I said, man, hold on now, Todd. I don't know if you've been just picking up media training from us doing these shows on Fridays or whatnot, but Buddy looked like he was ready to take our stuff. He was ready to rock. Nice blazer and all. Here on the TGL Monday, we're also going to give you all updates today. Just talk about what the playoff pictures and what the rules around that will look like as teams are going to be battling to make sure they can play in the postseason. I believe just the top 5 make it. The Jupiter Lynx, our home team, they're sitting at 6 right now behind the playoff cut line. But the match at 3 o'clock, which is in about an hour that people are starting to pour in here for, that's going to be the Bay versus L.A. A little Cali on Cali action, baby. A little West Coast divide.
These are the best at TGL.
Yeah.
Like, they are both battling for the 1 seed. It's pretty much whoever wins the 3 o'clock match has the 1 seed in the TGL playoffs. Man, I followed Minwoo Lee, who is on the Bay Golf Club.
Yeah.
I followed him yesterday. He's a fun guy to watch. He's a big social media star. Let him cook. He is the Dr. Chipinski. I'm excited to see that today, too.
Yeah. And I saw somebody pull up in a Kobe jersey on the LA team. So that's that right there, that kind of energy, that kind of aura. You walk in here, 2 unbeaten squads going up against each other. I think that I'm probably in favor of the LA Golf Club because, again, I'll say it, I like their branding the best. Jupiter's my squad. LA's got the best logo. I got to rock with the fellas. One person that people are starting to kind of fall off of based on what he said out in Indianapolis is none other than Travis Hunter, right? Like, he is one of the most versatile star athletes we have seen. He seems to be in peak shape. What he did on the college football gridiron for both Jackson State and then Colorado is really unprecedented, right? He wins the Heisman Trophy award, but he also gets the award for the top defensive player, the top receiver, the Blitnikoff award as well. Like, Hunter proved he can be that dominant on both sides of the ball in the college football realm. He's now looking, CCAT, to likely be a top 5 pick in the NFL draft, and he wants to do the same here, right? Like, the messaging from him, though he's doing the defensive back drills and whatnot, he signed up as a D-back in Indianapolis for the Combine, and he'll go into the draft as a defensive back. The messaging from everybody around this thing is he wants to play both sides again.
Yeah, he wants to be that unicorn. He wants to be that exception to the rule. He wants to impact whichever team drafts him as much as he can, and how much more can you increase that than by playing both sides of the football?
Whatever he's allowed to do at this next level and what he pushes to do, at the end of the day, we do know he's going to be good at either one. He was a dominant defensive back. He was the best receiver on Colorado, despite them having multiple options with Shedeur. Here's what I'll say. What he said before he even gets a chance to lace him up for whatever NFL franchise is already rubbing too many people the wrong way. So I'll let y'all take a listen. He was asked by a reporter, and they baited him into this. He was asked by a reporter if what he's doing in football is more difficult than what Shohei Ohtani in the Major League Baseball is doing right there with the LA Dodgers. 3 MVPs, just won the World Series. Here's what Travis Hunter had to say.
Probably me, what I do in football, because it's a lot on your body. You know, Ohtani, he's a great player, but you got to do a lot in football.
Oh, my gosh. Travis?
Don't take the bait.
Travis, here's what I'll say, C-Cat. He made a good point. He made a small point. He made a good point. And there are some truths to which one is more impressive because of what he's able to put his body through in a much more physically demanding game. Him being able to do it on both sides, coming on and off. But damn it, Travis, you can't go for a dude like Ohtani right now. Not coming off the World Series title, not coming off of 3 MVPs. Like, I want to side with him so bad. Here's what I'll say, C-Cat. I do believe what Ohtani's doing is more difficult. But what Travis Hunter can do in the National Football League, if he's elite on both sides as a receiver and defensive back, would be more impressive to me.
Why?
Because if you're putting yourself through that much physicality as a receiver and D-back, if you're playing that many snaps, not just in college football, at the pro level, and he's able to be dominant on both sides, a top 5, top 10 player as a receiver and a D-back, to me that still would be more impressive. What Ohtani's doing is much more difficult. I have seen a fastball come across the plate from afar and close up, and damn it, I know I couldn't have a chance at it at all. I concede to all the baseball enthusiasts like yourself that hitting a baseball is the number one hardest thing to do in sport, especially from a Major League Baseball pitcher. But what Travis Hunter is seeking out to do in a physical sport, in a sport that's that demanding on your body, would be more impressive to me, much more impressive. Ohtani is just elite at 2 things and is doing them. What Travis Hunter is trying to do is almost defy the laws of physics, because his little frame should not be able to uphold the 10 seasons playing on both sides like that.
Yeah, I guess what I can admire is the risk that Travis Hunter is willing to take on in order to make history at the NFL. Because we're already seeing with Ohtani that the risk, like he was not able to pitch last year. Like when you are trying to do both, you are putting yourself at risk. And when you play more snaps, when you play more innings, when you play more positions, you have more opportunity to get hurt. You put more wear and tear on your body. But don't get me wrong, more people can do what Travis Hunter is attempting to do than can do what Shohei Ohtani.
No, they can't, though. That's the one thing we need to stop. Like, that's a facade. That's a complete facade. To say that there's more people, there's anybody that really can do what Hunter not only was able to do in college football, but is going to attempt to do in the pros, there's a reason nobody's done it. There's a reason nobody's done it. Not full-time on both sides. It is nearly impossible to be that good at receiver and D-back to where a team would even use you in that way and for your body to stand up to it.
Well, let's hold on because he hasn't done it at the pro level yet.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It would be more impressive. We're doing the whole thing where you're judging one man's results with another man's potential. But, again, I more so will say I'll base it more so on what Hunter is intending to do, right? He's intending to go out there, and the team is going to pick him in the top 5 and give him a shot to go out there and be likely a number 1 or 2 option on offense and your number 1 shutdown cornerback. Those are 2 of the top 4 or 5 most important positions in football. The NFL is the premier league in America at the very least. I mean, you can go soccer if you want to go worldly and whatnot, but the NFL is it. It's the behemoth. See, if he's able to fill those 2 voids for a team, like, come on. Especially under a rookie deal like that, the kind of value you can extract out of a dude like that, that would be thoroughly impressive. That dude would be doing something that would be, I would say unmatched.
Well, there are so many aspects to this argument, and there's so many ways you can go with this because one individual player on a baseball field is not worth one individual player on an NFL field, and then that also does not match what someone can do on a basketball court. So I almost want to take that out of it right now. But when you compare the skills that it takes to be a corner and the skills that it takes to be a receiver, those are so much closer.
A lot of overlap.
Than what it is to be a Major League Baseball MVP award-winning hitter and a #1 ace starter.
Yeah.
It's not even close, the overlap when it comes to being a hitter versus a pitcher, let alone now MVP candidate, Cy Young Award-winning candidate is what? Just a strong lower body and a good core and hand-eye coordination? That's really, if you're really grasping for straws, I would really only just say a strong lower body. That's all you got.
Yeah. What Ohtani's able to do, and him being, how tall is he? He's kind of tall. Like
he's a pretty guy. He's a big guy.
6'5". He says pretty guy. Pretty guy too. Handsome man. Ohtani, him being able to do that and also have the speed to steal 50 bases. Also to be, and I know part of that, people try and discredit the 50 bases because they made the bags bigger and they changed the rules and all. He still stole 50 bases, right? We have to give him some credit for that. But for me, what Ohtani is doing in baseball, it's so hard to compare to a football player who doesn't at least play quarterback on one side of the field, right? Because he's actually pitching. He's actually pitching and being that level of a hitter, whereas a receiver in a corner, you're never going to have that much control over a game as a pitcher has over, a particular game. Like Ohtani can dominate a game on the mound the way that Hunter couldn't do at corner or receiver. You can get game planned out.
Yeah.
We've seen it happen to the best. The only receiver that is game plan proof, it feels, right now is Justin Jefferson. Everybody else, all the top guys can get game planned out. And as a corner, the issue with having and investing so much in a shutdown corner is, yes, it's great because you get to say, oh, I don't have to worry about that side of the field. But guess who else is saying that? The offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, he's over there, we'll go over here. That was the whole Kawhi Leonard conversation back when people were mad because rim protectors in the NBA were getting the Defensive Player of the Year awards and guys like Kawhi were getting slept on, and that was actually what paved the way for Marcus Smart. I mean, I think that was one of the most, if not the Rudy Gobert ones, Marcus Smart winning that DPOY, I think, in 2021. We need to go back on that and get that redacted. But he got that award because there was we were deprived of a perimeter player getting it. And the reason you are in the NBA, in basketball, if you are a shutdown one-on-one defender, guess what we're not going to do? Keep going at your ass. You get on that dude, he going to drag you to the corner, and we're going to run a set on the other side. You can do the same thing with a corner. But if Hunter can make it happen, right? Like if he can get a couple pick sixes in there, if he can make it worth your while, especially on that rookie contract, I see what he's saying. Plus the injury risk, man. Like that's the NFL we talking about.
But Travis Hunter's never going to win an MVP. I think it's fair to say.
I don't know if you can say that. I don't think you can say that.
I think you certainly can say that because to whatever team he's going to, it's going to be a bad team.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be a fruitful situation that can make him stand out on a winning football team. And that's all to say, I'm not even mentioning Defensive Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, MVP.
Yeah.
It's a quarterback award.
So you don't think that's part of Ohtani's MVP win? I know one of them he did without, but part of Ohtani's ability to win an MVP in the first couple of ones, because he has 3, right? I think he has 3.
Might have 2. Might have 3.
Part of that is also baked into the fact that he is a great pitcher. Like, there's been times in Major League Baseball where people were crediting pitchers with being so good on the mound that they deserve some MVP nods or at least some MVP votes. The last one he did it without pitching, right?
Yes, correct. He's got 3 MVPs, was nominated in 2022, but then won it in 21, 23, and 24.
Yeah, and I would say the first 2 he got, it was a double bacon thing. This last one, he just focused on batting, and damn it, he
did it again.
He started breaking. He set a whole new benchmark with the 50-50.
And I don't want to discredit the stolen base number. Like you mentioned, we don't want to discredit it. Of course, it's at a scaled version because of the different rules on the pickoffs and the bases, but he was second in Major League Baseball behind Ellie De La Cruz.
Yeah.
So, second in baseball in stolen bases, you still definitely factor that in and consider that when talking about the most well-rounded athlete, baseball player the game has ever seen.
Yeah.
And he has done it. Travis Hunter is showing promise or at least goals to do it. Because, again, Travis Hunter might not be allowed to do that.
Yeah,
the team that drafted him might say no.
It's a wait and see.
But do you draft him that high if you don't?
Here's what I would say. I think that no matter who drafts him, it feels like the consensus is he's your starting corner. He's going to be your best corner. You're going to line him up against the best receiver on the other side. You'll try to have him be a shutdown man corner because he has those kind of ball skills. He's that good in coverage, and he showed that all throughout college football. I think the question becomes how many snaps on offense per game are you actually giving him? And is it enough for him to like you said he'll never be an MVP. I think he's probably the most likely non-quarterback MVP for the next 10 years.
Right,
there's
you're
one
saying that
person,
right now before he's played a snap?
Yes. I'm saying that because of what he's able to do. His impact can be felt on both sides, and that's going to get baked in. So put it to you like this. Name another defensive player, even ones that have played in the league. Myles Garrett, the best of them, right? Micah Parsons. Name another defensive player you would feel confident in saying he has the potential to win the MVP over the next 10 years.
Okay, defensive player, no one.
Right, nobody. But Travis Hunter, because he's going to get snaps on offense and he might get a big role on offense. And if he's able to be like one of the 3 to 5 best corners in a given year, the question you have to ask yourself is then how great of a receiving year would he have had to have along with that? And, of course, you need the team success for him to get those MVP votes. Because you think about a year like this past year, right? I mean, Lamar and Josh Allen, they had those electric years statistically, but I think this felt like one of those seasons where you could have had a guy like Travis Hunter get 9, 10 receiving touchdowns, be a top 3 corner, and then get considered for an MVP if his team is one of the best teams in the league. You're shaking your head.
You're full of it.
He just won the freaking Heisman. You would have said the same thing about the Heisman Trophy, though, C-Cat. What are you laughing at?
Because there was no quarterback stood out in the Heisman race. We're talking about football.
There were quarterbacks in the Heisman race. Did the best team in the nation, the Oregon Ducks, not have a quarterback that was in the Heisman race? Damn it, he was in New York as well. Cam Ward was right there with him. He didn't go. I'm sorry. It was just Genty and Ward and Travis Hunter, and who was the fourth that was out there with him?
I forget.
It was Dylan Gabriel.
I'm seeing red right. It was Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah, it was Dylan
I'm seeing
Gabriel.
red right now because there is no way in hell in this year's MVP race that there would be room for Travis Hunter to steal votes between Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. You are on, to steal a phrase from a friend, Stephen A. Smith, you're on crack right now. Like, you are absolutely out of your mind.
To be fair, when Stephen A. Smith said that, he was talking about a guy that was actually doing crack. I was just
Who was on crack?
Who was on crack? He was literally defining what the guy was just doing previously. So don't kill me like that. But
it's a quarterback versus a guy who will be on a team that might put up good numbers, have some good highlights, but there is no way.
There's a way.
And Saquon Barkley made more.
Neither one of them had the 1 seed. And again, you're not going to say a running back is going to be able to. If Saquon couldn't get it this year, then why would a running back ever be able to get it again?
But a wide receiver
can never do it.
There was conversation with like Antonio Brown in his peak year that
not going to happen.
Yeah, so if those guys who put together historic seasons could not do it, no, Travis Hunter can't do it either.
That's crazy. I think it's more crazy for you to say Travis Hunter cannot win an MVP in the NFL than it is for him to say my job is more difficult because of what it does to my body.
It might be more of an extreme, yes, but it's more correct.
It's not more correct. It's absolutely not more correct. You can't even – first of all, you just tried to knock me for saying, oh, Hunter can do this in the league and he could be more impressive if he does these things. And you said, well, he hasn't done it yet. By the same token, I can say you don't know what he's going to be in the National Football League, so you can't – how many rookie wide receivers in the past 5 years have we seen explode onto the scene, be number 1 options, be top 5 in receiving yards? Keeps on happening. It keeps on happening. The scouts around the NFL draft say that if Hunter went in as just a receiver, he wouldn't be a top 5. He would be the number 1 receiver in the draft. That's what they're saying. Not me, not you. That's what they're saying. So if he's that level of receiving prospect and he's the best corner, I don't see how you can be so dismissive of what he will be able to do at the next level. How about we ask the good people here? We'll ask the good people here on Theoretically Speaking. Is it, as C-Cat put it, impossible? Is it impossible for Travis Hunter to ever reach the levels of the MVP realm in the NFL? Will Travis Hunter even have a shot at it? No matter where he gets drafted, no matter how his NFL career comes to be, C-Cat says he has absolutely no shot. What say you? Is a MVP even a potential in the future of Travis Hunter? Colorado corner and receiver who's looking forward to starting his career in April here when he gets drafted, likely in the top 5. 888-760-3776. 888-760-3776. Hit us up on the Baptist Health Hotline, and this comes off of Travis Hunter saying, what I'm doing, it's a lot harder than Otani, which I can agree with you, C-Cat. Not only should he have not said that, he ain't right. He's not right. I can't even be facetious because I was this morning I went golfing out in Martin Downs Golf Club with our guy Jalen, his pops Bernard Gilkey, who again was a professional baseball player, did his thing with the St. Louis Cardinals, also a multi-sport athlete. Like what people don't know about Bernard Gilkey, as great as he was on the diamond for the Cardinals, the dude was an All-American basketball player in high school and was an elite football player. So I tried to pass it by him as we were rolling around the golf cart. I'm like, yo, Hunter, what he's doing is real tough, man. He's talking about the old tiny thing. You know what he did? He got what? He laughed at me harder than Mike T laughed at you when you said that who was it? That Aaron Rodgers should go to the Vikings.
Yes.
That's how dismissive he was of that. It's hard to hit a baseball.
It's very hard to hit a baseball. And I'm speaking of a person who played the lowest of all low levels of college baseball. So it's not an impossible feat in my eyes, Yeah. But it still is very hard to hit a baseball. And when you compare that with the efforts and the training and the hand-eye coordination to do that at the same time as pitching a baseball, come on.
It's ridiculous.
It is
what Ohtani's
ridiculous.
doing, nobody's doubting that. What Ohtani is doing is ridiculous. It is, to me, going to be more impressive if Hunter is going to be able to do what you called the impossible. You said it would be impossible for Hunter to win an MVP.
He won't.
So by that very demarcation that you made, it would be more impressive if he did, right? You said it's impossible.
Yeah, it won't happen.
All right, Travis Hunter. You say it won't happen. Is it possible? Y'all let us know on the Baptist Health Hotline, 888-760-3776, 888-760-3776. Hit us up on the Baptist Health Hotline. Are you experiencing foot and ankle pain and need to see an expert in the field? Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has a team of foot and ankle orthopedic surgeons and specialists who are regarded as leaders in their specialty. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho to learn more today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho. 888-760-3776. Do you agree with CCAT? Is it impossible for Travis Hunter, dual athlete, both sides, wide receiver, corner, to actually win an MVP in the league? I think that's quite ridiculous to put those kind of limitations on him. How about we hear from a former wide receiver before we go to break here? I just want to hear this and get your thoughts on it right quick. Former wide receiver in the NFL, Chad Ochocinco, on ESPN today, talking about this works against Travis Hunter too. Talking about not just how difficult baseball is, but comparing it to something that's very relatable.
The two most difficult things in life are hitting the baseball and keeping a woman happy long term. The two most difficult things in life. You hear me? Very. So the fact that
I mean, he's not wrong, but also, I mean, maybe, Chad, you just keep your head to yourself. Yeah. Maybe they stay happy longer.
Maybe working your diet.
Yeah.
Big fast food guy, Chad Ochocinco is.
Talking about that noggin, he used a soccer move, allegedly. Some things, just keep your head to yourself. Keep that physicality between the lines, Chad, and maybe you keep him happy longer.
Which I will say, with Travis Hunter saying that going into draft season, combine week, and whatnot, if he thinks that making that stance and making that statement is going to, in any way, shape, or form, promote his stock and make what he thinks that he can bring to the table more valuable, more power to him, is a GM going to say, you know what, good point. Yeah. I would not want to trade Shohei Ohtani. Yeah.
So, but here's what I would say, though. I want that kind of confidence from a dude that's trying to do what he's trying to do. You have to believe in your ability to do the unthinkable if you're going to set out to do the unimaginable.
Yeah, that's true. Why are you going to put limitations on yourself? That's my job.
Yeah, you're supposed to shoot him down. And also, he's playing the two positions in the NFL that you have to be almost borderline arrogant to be sufficient at. In order for you to think you can get out there and play cornerback on an island and cover, especially with today's rules in the NFL, you got to be a little arrogant. That's why a lot of them dudes be jacking and talking like they do. It's because they have to feel that way about themselves. And you already know about how divas, the receivers get, they feel like they always open. I want Hunter to feel that way. In fact, you know what? If I was a GM, it would increase his draft stock. I say, you know what? He's just stupid enough to think he can do it. Let's see what he can do. Bring him in.
So if you are a GM who is definitively not taking a quarterback, best available, you're going Travis Hunter?
I would. So here's the reason why I would, and we'll get to the other side here, is we'll give a little preview of some inside knowledge on some TGL stuff coming forward, as well as a get around. Here's the reason I think I would be more inclined to get Hunter. 10 years from now, 15 years from now, when you look at the players available in this draft, he's the one guy I would look at and say, damn, how do we pass on him? based on what he could end up being, right? Abdul Carter, even if he's a great edge rusher, if he becomes a really elite level edge rusher, you're not going to have nightmares and you're not going to be thinking back on, and people aren't going to be talking about the guys you drafted over him.
I mean, to make the easiest apples-to-apples comparison in terms of position and college, it's Micah Parsons. You're kind of passing up on what could be Micah Parsons.
And he went, 11 or something like that to the Cowboys?
There, yeah.
And I don't think people lost too much sleep. And again, great player. People would prefer to have him, I'm sure. And we'll go back to the draft. We'll go back to the draft and look at the guys selected above Parsons and give you that on the other side and tell you whether or not they should feel as remorseful. But imagine Travis Hunter going out and being the guy that he says he's going to be with the tutelage, right? With the mentorship from a guy like Deion Sanders that has done it. I just think that's the one dude in the draft I would look back on and say, damn it, I cannot believe we passed him up. He's generational. He's one of one. And now we're stuck here with freaking Shador Sanders or Cam Ward, who's on his the back end of his rookie deal and won't know if we're even going to give him the fifth-year option. Like, you don't want to be in that trap. We'll give that to you on the other side. Again, we're kicking it at TGL right here at SoFi Center in the main area. It's little cornhole tossing, some drinks being passed around. It's a good vibes. Pull up on us here in Palm Beach Gardens. That's CCAT. I'm Theo Dorsey. We're on the road on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that wants to learn more about careers with Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Hi, I'm Scott Smith with Smith Ball Baez and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. As you have likely seen and heard, law firm advertising is at an all-time high. Attorney ads seem to be part of every radio and TV commercial segment. Some firms are even using paid actors and actresses to speak for them. At Smith Ball Baez and Prather, we know that the decision to hire a law firm should never be based on advertisements alone. It is our past results and many positive 5-star reviews that we encourage you to read at smithball.com to learn more about our law firm. We have board-certified lawyers. We have lawyers listed in the best lawyers in America and in super lawyers. But most importantly, we have experienced lawyers located right here in Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast that are ready to be your advocate and your voice, and fully prepared to start fighting for your legal rights today. Our purpose, legal power. Our mission, huge results. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith Ball Baez and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith Ball Baez and Prather, help is just a local phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
Cruise the campus, explore the circuit, experience F1 in Miami like never before. Your general admission ticket to the 2025 Formula One Crypto.com Miami Grand Prix is here. Immerse yourself in the action with unparalleled access to different campus zones. Enjoy thrilling activities, live entertainment, and endless food and beverage options while witnessing the race, all for less than $150 per day. Visit F1MiamiGP.com to secure your spot at the 2025 Formula One Crypto.com Miami Grand Prix, the race that's an experience.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now boarding Group A. Please have your boarding passes ready to scan. If your phone is cracked, old, or was chewed up by your Chihuahua travel companion, please refrain from holding up the line. We ask that you kindly not be that guy, and instead simply go to Verizon and trade in any phone from their top brands in any condition on any unlimited plan for the new Samsung Galaxy S25 with Galaxy AI.
With new line on my plan. Additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
Vivid Seats is your ultimate destination for basketball and hockey this season. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every one-timer and buzzer-beating 3 live and in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Don't miss out. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Thank you for calling the ESPN 106.3 fan poll. Today's question, would you like to hear a new show weekdays at 4 p.m.? Press 1 for yes, 2 for no. You press 1 for yes. Tune in to ESPN 1063 for Russo and Rizzo, weekdays at 4. Thank you. Goodbye.
The Club at Lost Lake, a championship Fazio design golf course in Hope Sound. Golf and social memberships are now available with no waiting list and immediate access. The course and club will see over $10 million in capital improvements and is one of the best private club values in the area. Experience the beauty and challenge of this renowned course for yourself. Enjoy year-round access to exclusive amenities and events. Visit clublostlake.com to schedule a visit today. Don't miss out on this incredible course. And please, putt responsibly.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
Back at it again, man, from, what do you call it, the foyer? What do you call this area? The fan area outside of SoFi Center and Palm Beach Gardens for some TGL Mondays. I was looking at you, C-Cat. I thought you had it.
Oh, the name of where we are?
Yeah, where we're at. Like this little activation center outside. They had a catchy name for it, and I forgot it.
Fan Village?
Fan Village. We'll call it the Fan Village. And we got some, it's like line dancing going on and whatnot. Fans are starting to pour in. The first match here for TGL Monday, 30 minutes from teeing off. We got the Bay versus L.A., a little Cali on Cali action, and it's also a battle of the unbeatens here at TGL. The best two squads going up against each other. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to be able to peek in there and see the action.
I mean, yeah, we've been building to this. Now the playoff race really heaps up and takes shape these next couple of days. Battle for the 1 seed between the Bay and LA.
Yeah.
And a battle to stay alive between New York and Boston later.
Absolutely. So C-Cat, the Tennessee Titans have the number 1 pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. That'll be happening out there in Green Bay, Wisconsin. I'm sure it'll be warm.
I always forget about that.
Yeah, I know.
That's a really bad idea.
I know. There's been like 8 years in a row of bad ideas for the draft. There's like the Detroit and I know
Vegas
they have
was
fun.
Cool.
I know they have fun. Oh, it's Vegas? What year was that?
Vegas was 2020.
2020.
And they got it pushed away and all that.
The problem is you're going to these cold weather cities, and I get we're trying to show them some love and get their fans activated and have a good time, but me personally, I would prefer to go somewhere where it's warm if given the option. That's just me.
A long-standing opinion that I've had as a fan of the NFL, as a real lover of sports, and football in particular, was if you pay money to go watch the NFL draft, you are the biggest loser I can think of known to man.
Jeez.
And that is only maybe 20 or 30-fold if you go to a cold weather city to do just that. And at least you go to a city where there's something else to do other than sit in the crowd, wear your jersey, and cheer for this college kid that might be on your team when the season kicks off in 2025.
I think at that point, people are so deprived of action and events and sports, and the NFL's been done since for 2 months. March Madness is already over with. The Masters have been cooked. You don't have much else to do in late April.
That is a weak excuse. You could have spent your money on doing those things that you just mentioned.
I think it's free.
Is it really?
I think
when it was in Music City, whatever, in New York, they were not.
Now that's different. The New York, New York, it was. See, these new ones when they're doing it, it's outdoors, and I believe it's free. I'm gonna look it up right now. The 2025 NFL Draft, Green Bay.
So you wanted the list of 2021 NFL Draft to see?
Yes, please give us that.
Because Abdul Carter right now from Penn State looks like a nice apple-to-apple comparison would be like passing up on Micah Parsons when he came out of Penn State.
He actually looks like him in his Penn State uniform.
He certainly does.
Which is it's very eerie. It's very weird.
So Micah Parsons in 2021 went 12th overall to the Cowboys.
Okay.
Who was picked before him, you might ask? Justin Fields at 11th overall to the Bears.
Never hear anybody talk about that, by the way. You don't. No. When's the last time you've seen because you know how it goes when you have a team that historic, like the Sam Bowie, Michael Jordan thing. People talk about, the Blazers, you got Bowie, you could have had Jordan. There's stuff that happens like that in the NFL around quarterbacks. Nobody talks about Fields going ahead of Parsons. Keep going.
Devontae Smith went 10th to the Eagles out of Alabama.
He's a Heisman winner. I mean, he's a Super Bowl champion now. I think they're fine.
Pat Surtain, he went to the Broncos at 9.
Number 1 corner in the league right now. If you ask some, and he just got paid like it by the Broncos, so I feel like they're actually cool as well.
Cornerback J.C. Horn went to the Panthers out of South Carolina at 8.
That was a mistake. I don't think like that was a mistake, but again, not a mistake that they're getting cooked for when, again, Micah Parsons was right there. They could have had him and Brian Burns at that time.
The Giants took Penei Sewell from Oregon at 7, of course, a really good offensive tackle.
You said Lions or Giants? I don't know why I
said Lions.
Yeah, the Lions happened, and that was an elite pick. It's funny, as much as we talk about what the Lions have and all their offensive weapons and stuff, he might be the best player on their offense or team in general.
This one might have been a mistake, might not have been. Jalen Waddle to the Dolphins at 6.
Man, he kind of defines that, Legion of Zoom. Like, without Waddle, if it's just Hill out there, then there's like a depravity of like big name splash players doing that with him. So now it's Waddle, Hill, and HN and whatnot. But you're right. I mean, they're paying him $30 million a year.
That's true.
To be a number 2 receiver, so they believe in him. He almost broke some rookie records his first year, but again, they're still not getting cooked for not getting Micah Parsons. And imagine the Dolphins, if they had the best edge in the league right now, they might actually have a chance to win some games.
So at 5th overall, the Bengals, with Micah Parsons obviously available.
Oh, yeah.
They took Jamar Chase, the Bengals did.
Good pick.
Great pick.
Literally, that was a splash pick. And that was the funny thing before that draft was the 2021 draft. Yep. The conversation was Penei Sewell or Jamar Chase.
Right. The reason why Joe Burrow got hurt was because he had no protection. The reason why Joe Burrow didn't really stand a chance still prevailed throughout the playoffs because the offensive line was so bad.
Yeah, and they made the right choice still. Even though Penei Sewell would have been great there as well, Jamar Chase has been triple crown this year.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
A couple mistakes at 4, 3, and 2. Kyle Pitts to the Falcons.
Terrible. Absolutely horrendous pick. He might not get his 5th-year option pick though.
Trey Lance at 3 overall to the San Francisco 49ers.
Even more inexcusable of a pick. And I feel bad because, again, they double back at the end of the draft and get Brock Purdy and all things are solved. But, damn it, that might be the biggest bust in the history when you bake in the fact that, remember, the Niners traded up to get Lance. Ooh.
The Jets took Zach Wilson at number 2 overall to BYU.
Jeez, this is throw the whole draft away. How are people not talking about this more?
And then, hey, I would say jury's still out on Trevor Lawrence at number 1 overall in 2021.
They paid him like the jury ain't still out.
The jury's out on whether or not he's a bust. The jury's not out on whether or not the Jaguars wish they took Micah Parsons number 1 overall. I think that's fair to say.
Don't you think, though? I mean, again, how good would Trevor Lawrence have to be over these next 4 or 5 years for them to feel like he was a better pick than Parsons, though?
I think when you are a NFL football team and you were at the top end of the draft, let alone number 1 of the draft, and you need a quarterback,
you got to do it.
You just got to take the best quarterback available. It is so much time to wait till next year if there's not a good free agent available, or at least you could reappeal upon.
Listen to what you just said.
What?
You said if you need a quarterback and you have the number 1 pick, you got to pick a quarterback. And here come the Tennessee Titans, who come out and say we want a generational talent. It's been rumored that they might go Abdul Carter, despite the foot injury, which is a non-factor apparently. There's rumors they might go with the generational talent of Travis Hunter because, again, I say that if you look at any player in this draft, there's only one of them that I can see ourselves a decade from now saying, how the hell did we have a chance to get that guy? We knew he was that good, and we passed up on him. I think he's the only one. And you're saying they should get a quarterback, so you think they should go Cam Ward?
Yeah, I would say that.
Wow.
I mean, I would look at the free agency, and there's really not much going on. It looks like the Vikings want to hold on to Sam Darnold. I would not strap my wagon for a swan song for Aaron Rodgers, and the Stafford sweepstakes ended up not being a sweepstake whatsoever. So, yeah, if I'm the Tennessee Titans, I would not take Abdul Carter. I would not take Travis Hunter. I would take Cam Ward, who I also believe is the best quarterback in the draft.
Yeah, I do too. I told you the only way that I feel any kind of resolve from this Miami Hurricanes football season is if Cam Ward goes number 1. He didn't win the Heisman. We didn't make it to the ACC championship game, and we literally fell on our face, embarrassed ourselves on the back end of that year, not just in the Pop-Tart Bowl, but in the game against Syracuse and Tech. If Cam Ward can go number 1, I will forgive all of that Mario Cristobal because at least we can hang a banner for that. Like, hey, number 1 overall pick, Cam Ward. When the last time Miami did that? It's been decades.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, literally, it hasn't happened.
But, however, we've got 2 teams in New York that are rumored to be wanting to trade up to that number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
The Titans do have to take Cam Ward. If the Titans get a sweet deal, I am not opposed to that.
You got to take it.
If you can talk yourself into being patient, not making snap decisions based on 2025's results with your GM and your head coach, I think it is well worth it to trade back because there is a great rookie quarterback class coming into the league in 2026. I think if you can get a good value and you're the Tennessee Titans that the Giants or the Jets can offer, you got to take the deal.
Quick update here, and then we'll jump into our get-around. It looks like it's official. The Bengals have placed the $26.2 million franchise tag on T. Higgins. Second straight year, they have tagged the wide receiver as he is now entering, I believe, his sixth year with the Bengals here. And Higgins, who was hoping to get an extension, maybe hoping to hit the open market and get one of those $30+ million deals with some guarantees in it, is going to have to play one more year on the tag before hitting free agency. And again, we talked about this before when it first announced they would tag him, and we're going to be talking about this throughout this year. The Bengals are continuing to be cheap, even despite the cap jump, despite Joe Burrow willfully saying, I will make as many concessions with my contract as possible for you to keep my guy here as my number 2 receiver. Cincinnati's being Cincinnati, and I don't think they're going to end up extending the dude, man. I think they're either trading him or letting him walk, and I think for Bengals fans, same old story. Joe Burrow going to end up being Dalton 2.0, and don't say he's Andy Dalton with a little more swag. Andy Dalton with some swag.
And to break it down, the amount of money that wide receiver franchise tag will be in 2025 is $23.6 million.
No, it's 26.2 because they got bumped because it's the second straight year. So, yeah, you're right, though, that it's below market value, though.
Yes.
$26.2 million for T. Higgins is below market value, but it's the top 5 average plus a percentage bump because it's the back-to-back years. Waddle's getting paid more.
Yeah.
I think Higgins is better than Waddle. There's a lot more receivers ahead of him right now that are going to be getting paid more, and they have long-term deals. He's not happy about this.
No,
staff in the locker room.
He absolutely shouldn't, because this is just guaranteeing that T. Higgins will not be a Bengal next year.
Feels that way.
Right?
Yeah.
That's a really hard bridge to get back after you burn it and not paying a guy what you would agree and he would agree that he is worth.
Yeah.
And we tag him in, I think it does two things. Like you said, it burns that bridge. It's bad for the locker room. And I don't think that the Bengals should have T. Higgins on their roster if they truly believe in Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
That money should be used elsewhere on the team, on the other side of the football, to help a defense that was really, really bad.
It's kind of counterproductive, man. Like, I get what you're saying, yes. If you think Joe Burrow is that guy, then you don't need to pay 2 receivers $35 million a year on each side.
Mm-hmm.
But I do believe there's a gap between Joe Burrow and those other 3 guys in the AFC, and Lamar, and Mahomes, and Josh Allen. And I think the Bengals, if they do retain T. Higgins in some way, are admitting that. This is like a last dance type thing for the Bengals here. You retool the defense. You're going to have a new defensive coordinator. Hopefully they use some of that cap space they do have to get guys in that can play. But this feels like the last dance. And even with T. Higgins coming back, if he does play this year under the franchise tag, again, where would you stack them up in the AFC? They still feel like they might be on the outside looking in. It's not crazy.
Outside looking at the playoffs?
Yes.
Wow.
What do you get? Wow. Would you look? We just watched it happen.
I know.
Wow. What happened last year can happen this year? Damn right.
Last year kind of felt more like an aberration than the standard.
But Joe Burrow's been in the league 5 years. He's missed the playoffs 3 of them. That's the standard.
But if you really want to be honest with the argument.
Yeah.
The second half of the season, the Bengals' offense, that side of the football, looked like a top 5 unit in football. That side. And that is not negating or forgetting that the first half of the season, talk about injuries, don't talk about injuries, whatever you want.
Yeah.
That offense of the Bengals was not very good. And the defense ended up also being an Achilles heel for the Bengals in that second half of the season, which turned those 40-plus point outbursts from Chase Higgins and Joe Burrow. It made them more losses than wins. But I think you've got to let Joe Burrow prove that he can do it without T. Higgins. Because if you're a general manager and a head coach, then if he can't do it with Jamar Chase, it's his fault. It's not your fault. But right now, if you load up Joe Burrow with all the weapons in the world on the offensive side of the ball, and when I say load up, that means just retain all the weapons in the world, you are just not doing your job as a general manager. There's more at play than just keeping the franchise quarterback happy, which is important, but you got to build a playoff team.
If you had to guess right now, and we'll do the get around on the other side here. We got a lot of stuff to go through here on Theoretically Speaking as we kick it right outside of SoFi Center ahead of some TGL. Let's look. If you had to guess, looking at AFC Championship winning odds right now on Hard Rock Bet for next year, if you had to guess where they rank amongst AFC teams in shortest of odds, where would you place the Bengals today?
All right, so I'm going to do some deductive reasoning here, where the Bills, the Ravens, and the Chiefs have to all be above the Bengals.
Clearly.
That's obvious.
So Chiefs are plus 275 to win the AFC. The Ravens are plus 350, and the Bills are plus 375.
Some other AFC playoff teams last year that come to mind.
You name them, I'll give you their odds, and then you can try to figure out where the Bengals will be in between.
The Chargers.
Chargers plus 1,300.
The Broncos.
Broncos plus 1,750. That is
I think that you're going to have the same numbers as the Chargers, the Bengals. I think you're going to see, for the Bengals to win the AFC next year, you're going to have plus 1,350.
The Bengals are plus 900. I think they're still overvalued. They're the fourth team. You were right in saying that those the big three are ahead of them, but the gap between them and the big three tells you everything you need to know, where the Bills are plus 375, the Bengals almost 3 times that at plus 900. Here's what I'll say, though. The teams right behind them, the Texans, the Chargers, not the Broncos, but those two teams specifically, the Texans and Chargers, I feel stronger about their ability to get over the hump next year than I do the Bengals. And a lot of it has to do with they have the defensive side of the ball figured out. They can get more like on the small like increments on offense. And then the question is, what are you getting out of either Herbert or Stroud in the playoffs? For the Bengals, you know you're going to get a good, healthy Joe Burrow if he's available. The question for them is, are you able to retool that defense in one offseason with a new defensive coordinator? And I just would not be banking on that. I think I might be shorting them for the second straight year.
Are we just kind of looking at possibly just earlier in the process, the AFC's Bengals are the NFC's Cowboys, where you have a lot of promise, and now you guys are just going to get a whole lot more expensive?
I mean, it's getting closer to that. If they actually extended T. Higgins, which I think is the right thing to do, but it might be the wrong long-term play if Joe Burrow is not able to squeeze more value out of them this year. If they extend him, I would tell you this, it would be a very almost one-to-one match, and the only thing you're missing is Trey Hendrickson. I don't think anybody, as much as we love him as an FAU guy, I don't think anybody's comparing him to Michael Parsons.
Correct.
So,
and we also, I don't think we ever got to this, to be honest. It might have been going into the weekend or what have you. We kind of got lost in the fold with us. But the Bengals general manager, I believe it was, said to stop asking questions. Jamar Chase will be made the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL. So, that check has already been written out.
Yeah.
That's happening. It's a given guarantee that Jamar Chase will get record money for not just his position, but record money for the non-quarterback position.
Right, it was Justin Jefferson right now at $35 million a year. So it technically is his position, and I'm wondering if it gets up to 40. I think that there's a really good possibility because of the cap spike, $23 million more this year, and then you add in the fact that he's the reigning Triple Crown winner as a receiver. He's negotiating for 40. The question is how close, where do you fall on that scale between 35 and 40?
Yeah, it is, but I also think, the Bengals didn't make the playoffs last year.
No.
So, yes, your numbers are hard to argue with how good you are at your position. But that does not change the fact that this formula did not work last year. So you might be worth that for somebody else, but is he really worth that for the Bengals entirely? And we're talking about a complete organizational just change and pivot from what we saw the past several years. But if that change looks so foreign and so uncomfortable and so different that does not involve paying Jamar Chase that amount of money, but it results in a playoff berth, isn't that worth it?
Sometimes you just got to get it how you live, man. Sometimes you got to just stick to what you got. That's why I don't knock the Dolphins for what they got going on down there. Damn it, everybody can't win the Super Bowl every year, but at least they're fun. At least they got an identity. They're throwing the ball deep. You got fast dudes at every position. You're playing Madden-style football on offense. It gives some joy to some fans' hearts. If the Bengals want to keep putting on a great offensive show and allowing 35 points a game like the Miami Hurricanes did this past year, why are we hating on them?
But I will, and we're still pushing this because it's a great topic to talk about with the NFL. When is it not a good idea to talk about the NFL? Yeah. Not everyone can win a championship every year, but every single team should feel that they have a path to the playoffs every year.
Yeah, and the Bengals have a path.
Yes, more than a path.
Yeah.
They've got the tools. They got the quarterback figured out. At least they believe they have the quarterback figured out. And maybe, barring 2 to 3 teams, every team has a path to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So when you are not making the playoffs, when you have a direct path, that's when you ask questions.
That's when you got to start looking inward, saying, all right, so what do we need to fix? What do we need to get rid of? What do we need to go out there and get? And that's what the NFL draft and free agency are for. That is what we're embarking upon a week away from free agency officially getting things cooking. We're a little bit more than a week away, about a month away from when we want to kick it on Kaiser University's campus. The date, Saturday, April 5th, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. We're talking about the Kaiser University Auto Show of the Palm Beaches. They're going to be pulling up, man. They're pulling up in some nice rides. The flagship campus is going to be transformed into the latest and greatest auto showroom right in front of your eyes. So come and see your dream car as vehicles from nearly every manufacturer going to be on display. Browse the inventory in a no-stress, relaxed, and fun setting. The Kaiser University Auto Show of the Palm Beaches. It's open to the public, and guess what, C-Cat?
What?
It is F-R-E-E free.
Wow.
I mean, you want to have an event and have people pull up and have a good time. You make it free, and then you go in there and you see the cars of your dream. I mean, it's a win-win-win.
Absolutely.
It's a good time. It's a good time. The Kaiser University flagship campus, 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach. Call 561-478-5500 or go to residential.kaiseruniversity.edu for more information and details. Again, the Kaiser University Auto Show of the Palm Beaches, Saturday, April 5th. Pull up. Check out the whips. Have a good time. Have a good time. On the other side, it's to get around. That's C-Cat. I'm Theo Dorsey. We are Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
West Palm Beach is the place to be for spring training, and Cacti Park at the Palm Beaches has all the action around the Nationals and the Astros. Enjoy the biggest stars in Major League Baseball, grab a cold drink, and indulge in amazing ballpark eats. Cacti Park has plenty of fun promotions for you and the family, from their family 4-pack, fireworks shows, to the Bark at the Park night. Experience big league action up close and personal while creating lifelong memories. Tickets are on sale now over at cactipark.com. Don't wait, secure your spot today and let's play ball.
The roar of the engines, the heat of battle, the thrill of NASCAR is back at Homestead Miami Speedway. March 21st through the 23rd, 3 days of non-stop, heart-pounding action as the stars of NASCAR take on South Florida's most intense mile-and-a-half track. Make sure to tune in to Theoretically Speaking and Russo and Rizzo, because we are giving away tickets. If you don't win, make sure to get your tickets at HomesteadMiamiSpeedway.com.
Hi, Kevin Dalton here from the Unlimited Auto Wash. Enjoy unlimited inside and out hand washes for just $49.95 per month, less than the price of 2 washes. You'll get unlimited hand washes with sealer wax, dash, windows and vacuum, tire shined, and hand finished. All unlimited. Not a member? Stop and get a quick wash anytime at great prices. And during January and February, if you join our club, you'll only pay $25 a month for the first 2 months and then $49.95 thereafter. Visit us at unlimitedautowashclub.com or call 561-WASH-ME-TOO.
The school district of Palm Beach County is your best choice.
It's time to step into kindergarten. Parents, the school district of Palm Beach County is now enrolling kindergarten students for the upcoming school year. Register now at palmbeachschools.org/kindergarten. Find out when to attend your school's kindergarten kickoff and how to get your free kindergarten readiness kit. That's palmbeachschools.org/kindergarten.
Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, proudly representing the residents of South Florida since 1985, and proud supporter of Inter Miami on ESPN West Palm. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath has attorneys across South Florida ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients, and you won't pay anything unless you win your case. If you have been injured, call the attorneys at Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, 561-867-4117, or online at foryourrights.com. Main office in West Palm Beach.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121, or visit tworld.com today.
Breaking news News on ESPN 106.3 is brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
This just in, we begin this hour with breaking news.
When news breaks, ESPN 106.3 has it covered.
We've had developments. ESPN 106.3 can now report.
When your vehicle breaks, St. Lucie Battery and Tire fixes it. Stay tuned to ESPN 106.3 for more breaking news. Brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 106.3.
WUUB Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station. Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
Sahid Tagala, Colin Morikawa, Tommy Fleetwood, and the LA Golf Club against Minwoo Lee, Shane Lowry, and Wyndham Clark. With the Bay Golf Club, we got a little TGL Mondays going 3 minutes from teeing off. And as we get ready to enjoy some good golf in here at SoFi Center in just a few, we still bring to you, theoretically speaking, C-Cat right here with me as the vibes are still in the background. You know what else is always a great vibe, C-Cat?
Always putting your seatbelts on.
There you go.
Shining your rear view mirror.
Uh-huh.
And getting on the get-around.
The get-around. It's time for the get-around.
I get around. What you mean you don't know? Check it go. I get around.
The get-arounds where we attack the top headlines from city to city, place to place, all across the states and beyond. What's our first stop?
Next stop,
East Rutherford, New Jersey, because the New York Jets plan to release mid-season bombshell trade acquisition receiver Davante Adams if no trade partner is found for the Jets.
So there won't be a trade partner. There won't be. And them putting that out there is because they have yet to find a trade partner in all their little GM group chats. They're like, oh, you want Davante Adams? No, not necessarily. Not at that cost. Do you want Davante Adams? No, not. So now they finally just did what people do annoyingly on Instagram. And do you have that feature on IG where you get to see people's their thoughts? It's like a notes thing or something?
Yeah.
So I didn't have it for the longest, and it just recently came back, and it's the most annoying thing possible. I don't need a status update from you on Instagram. Either post a picture on your story, post a picture on your feed, or leave me the hell alone. I don't want to hear what song you're currently listening to. And for the Jets, I don't need to hear that you want to trade or release Davante Adams because we knew that once we realized you were giving up on Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, so are we going to remember this? Are we going to remember that all of these wide receiver trade deadline acquisitions and movement didn't matter?
Oh, man.
Because we made way too much. It's time to take some ownership over sports media and sports talk radio. Amari Cooper did not matter. Davante Adams did not matter.
Absolutely not.
Who was the guy in the Panthers that went to the Cowboys?
Deontay Johnson
to the Ravens did not
and you're talking about Mingo, Jonathan Mingo. Now we knew that didn't matter in the moment. Mingo was like, all right, well, what are y'all doing? Y'all look desperate.
I am begging and pleading myself and you to remember this come NFL trade deadline 2026 and beyond, that the wide receiver moves will not matter.
That's a great point, but I'm sorry. If a dude like D-Hop get moved to the Chiefs again, I'm going to be all in. I'm like, Lombardi, here we come. And it didn't happen. What's the next stop, man?
Next stop.
So perfect.
Toronto, Canada. John Cena in the WWE finally turned heel, a.k.a. for non-wrestling fans, that means he's officially the bad guy.
He's a villain.
It's the first time in 2 decades that he was looked at as the bad guy at WWE's Elimination Chamber. But the weird thing is that John Cena turned bad, became heel, alongside Travis Scott and The Rock, and they beat up the WWE champion, Cody Rhodes. Your take?
Is he good at being a heel? Because that's the problem with being the bad guy, the villain. LeBron realized he couldn't really do it when he came to the Heat, and then he was like, I'm sorry, guys.
Tell you what, John Cena has succeeded at everything in life except his marriage with...
oh, my God. You sound like his therapist.
He can admit that.
It's crazy.
I love you, John.
It's crazy.
He's been good at everything in his career, so I doubt he'll be bad at this. And people have been clamoring for this for a long time. The reason John Cena has not been a bad guy is because of all of the money that wrestling has made on his merchandise for kids. When you're a good guy, you're big with the kids. When you're a bad guy, you are looked fondly upon by the adults and the older fans. And also, you think all the Make-A-Wishes, like all of that he would do for good, you can't really do that when you are the bad guy.
And now the kids that loved him are now grown up, and they've had their own villain arcs in their own lives.
So it was really the most shocking moment since Hulk Hogan went bad and turned heel that wrestling has ever had. So it was a pretty big moment, and it was really weird that Travis Scott was also beating John Cena's ass.
Okay, now I need to see the video.
I'm sorry, not beating John Cena, beating Cody Rhodes, because Cody Rhodes had like an open wound on the side of his head, and Travis Scott, not a wrestler. Maybe he doesn't really know the status quo where you don't really actually injure wrestlers, but he took him by the face and slapped the crap out of his face.
Oh, my God.
An open wound. Travis Scott was there for some reason walking out to Fiend with The Rock.
Fiend, great song, by the way. Great song choice, especially for wrestling. And if you know anything about Travis Scott, he about 5'7", $120. I'm sure the wrestlers were like, yeah, he can hit us. He can hit. Hey, have your way. It's almost like when your little 4-year-old cousin comes up to you, he's like,
but when that cousin starts gouging your eyes, it actually hurts.
I mean, it's going to hurt a little bit, but aren't they jacked up on roids and stuff, man? Like,
not anymore.
Oh, no? Oh, that's done? No. Okay. So's how long I've been out of the wrestling realm. Sorry. What's next?
Next stop,
Miami, Florida, because the Heat took an overtime loss to the Knicks last night, blowing a 19-point lead. Miami sits at 7th in the Eastern Conference standings as we sit today.
It's time. It's time. I think there's like 23 games left in the regular season. It's time to figure it out. Either you put up or shut up. I'm ready for the Heat to either turn this thing up to another level and feel like a team that can play its way out of being in the play-in. As you know, in the NBA, you got to be a top 6 seed. Right now, they sit at 7, which means they'd be back in the play-in yet again. Like, there's nothing promising out of this squad for this year, and there's a lot promising in the lottery for next year's NBA draft. So I think it is time, man. Now, I'm going to check out the Heat on Friday. Heat Wolves at Kaseya Center. So if they're going to hang it up, if they're going to start sitting guys and, playing the whole, back pain. He's out for the next couple of weeks. Just wait till after Friday night. That's all I ask. I want to see a good show.
Yeah, and you're pro-tanking, right?
I am pro-tanking.
Just in general, it's more advantageous to be at the higher end of the draft, or at least increase your chances of having a lottery pick, than it is to make a run at the play-in.
I'm pro-advantage. I'm pro-having advantage.
Yeah.
You don't want to be in, the purgatory of any sport. And in the NBA, it's even harder to get out of purgatory if you're still staying right there, 14th pick, 15th pick, 16th. You're not going to get a star. I'd rather us be at the top of the draft or at the back of the draft. And right now, we're right there in the middle, and it's pissing me off. Figure it out, Pat Riley. Wake up. That was to get around. Now it's time for – do we have one more?
We do have one more stop.
Yeah, all right, one more stop. One more stop on the get around, man.
Next
Sometimes you lose control of the wheel.
We went from Miami. We're going to drive up on the Turnpike or 95, depending on what your Google Maps tells you, which has more traffic. We're going to Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, because yesterday at the Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches, the solo leader going into his 11th hole was Jake Knapp. But then Jake Knapp proceeded to hit his second shot into the penalty area. The ball was submerged underwater, short of the green. Instead of us taking his medicine, taking the drop before the water, and taking that penalty stroke, Knapp tried to play it as it lied, taking 3 attempts to eventually get the ball back up on the green. It was hard to see him attempt to hit it out of the water and right back in.
Oh, that was sad.
Thus turning Jake Knapp's solo lead to 3 back when he exited the 11th green at the Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches. As you know, Jake Knapp never rebounded, never was able to actually win the Cognizant Classic. What I need to know is, Theo, what was his caddy doing?
Oh, my God.
The ball was not emerging out of the water at all whatsoever. And I know that he wouldn't have been able to take a penalty stroke and put the ball in the grass right next to the green because the ball never went past the red line and rolled back. He would have to go back where the ball entered the water, about whatever 100 yards out, wherever it was, and hit from there. But that decision right there was the reason he did not win the tournament. or have a chance to win the tournament. This guy shot a 59 on Thursday and has acorns to show for it, versus if he took a star decision that his caddy should have made him do.
Well, he's got a course record. Sure. He's got a course record at what we all consider one of the hardest courses in all of the PGA Tour right there, the Champions Course by Jack Nicklaus. So he got
talked about on Theoretically Speaking at a nice graphic posted by the tour.
What's up, Jake Knapp? You did it, baby. Hey, you know how hyped people was for Jake Knapp on Friday when he teed off from 1? You know, he teed off from 10, on Friday. People didn't know who Jake Knapp was on Thursday. On Friday, he had the biggest crowd to start things off. So, you know, you gain some things out of it, but I do feel bad for that dude. He almost had a wire-to-wire win in the Cognizant Classic. It would have been the first time in tournament history.
But how does the caddy not do his job?
So who do you think he overruled the caddy? Because the golfer at the end of the day can overrule.
That's true. It's always his choice.
So you never know.
Club.
Yeah.
Fair enough. People were saying the caddy should have knocked him unconscious and brought him back to where the ball left the penalty area.
I don't know the exact dynamics behind that. Maybe next time we talk to a golfer, we can ask them, like, have there been times where you wanted to do something and y'all were just opposed and you went with the caddy's way? Like, you know, if you're a quarterback and the coach tells you to do something, unless you're Jameis Winston, you got the ball in the goal line and you hand it off anyway, you're going to follow the coach's instruction most times.
I will say I have done that on the golf course twice. Play the ball where it is in the water.
Yeah.
But there was a little bit of white emerging out of the water. I got it out both times. The ball did not go the direction I wanted to, but I was not taking another penalty or hitting the ball from the water again. So it's doable. But it is so risky for someone who had a lead in, like you said, it's a difficult course, PGA National. It wasn't playing as difficult as normal over the weekend. There was still scoring to be had from 12th on.
Yeah.
It really was a detrimental decision made by Knapp and his caddy, and I feel bad for him.
Yep. Demoralizing for him and for all the fans that watched it in horror. That was the get around. Here on Theoretically Speaking. The happy hour is next, and CCAT, if it makes you feel better about you hitting the ball out of the water and you're not controlling what direction it goes, played this morning. I can't control where the ball goes off the tee. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't control where the ball directs. I need to get my lessons back up. I'm getting my lessons back up. So more on that, plus the happy hours. Tina joins us from the studios on the other side. That's CCAT. I'm Theo Dorsey from SoFi Center with Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Hey golf fans, Colin Russo here. Looking to improve your game? Flagstick Golf Performance, the ultimate indoor golf experience, is now open in Boynton Beach. With 3 indoor simulators and a state-of-the-art putting studio, Flagstick helps players at all levels up their game. Get lessons from experts, try the latest clubs, or just come up for a round on the simulators. You can track your stats and see real improvement. Flagstick is where serious golfers and beginners find their edge. Bring your friends or family and enjoy golf like never before. Visit flagstickgolfperformance.com to book your session.
Looking to lose weight without painful injections? Introducing semaglutide oral spray, a game changer in weight loss, now available at whyweight.net. This revolutionary spray delivers the proven power of semaglutide in an easy, needle-free, affordable solution. Get started today. Visit whyweight.net to learn more about the semaglutide oral spray and take control of your weight loss journey. That's the letter Y, WEIGHT.net.
Want to accelerate your career as a manager or executive in the exciting industry of sports? Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program is ranked #1 in Florida and 10th in the world. Students learn practical and applied skills from top faculty and experts who work in the industry. With a 94% placement rate for all grads, the full-time MBA program sets students up for success in the world of sports. Check out Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program today by going to business.fau.edu.
Get ready to elevate your driving experience with the all-new 2025 Range Rover Velar P250 Dynamic SE. A stunning blend of luxury, performance, and technology that will make every drive unforgettable. Right now, you can lease the new Velar for just $759 per month for 36 months. Yes, only $759 a month for a luxury SUV that sets new standards on the road. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and take advantage of this incredible offer. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
PopStroke Palm Beach is now open right next to the Palm Beach International Airport. There's fun entertainment for all ages. Tee off on 36 holes of elevated mini golf. Let the kids loose on the outdoor playground. Refuel at our Scratch Kitchen restaurant. Cool off with hand-scooped ice cream or grab a drink from one of our 7 bars with on-course delivery while you play. And elevate your experience at our VIP rooftop pool and sushi lounge. Plan your visit at popstroke.com. Eat, putt, and drink at PopStroke.
While it's not always possible to see contaminated water coming out of the faucet, the taste is difficult to ignore.
Blech.
And what about plastics and pharmaceuticals now in the water? The team at Culligan is here to help. Culligan offers water testing and reverse osmosis systems designed to filter out those contaminants right at the source. Culligan has been helping the local community with water issues since 1936. Schedule your appointment today at Culligan.com.
Hey, Culligan man!
ESPN 1063 is your home for live sports presented by Hard Rock Bet. Home of the Miami Heat, now the new home of Inter Miami. Catch all the games and the biggest matchups throughout the week right here on ESPN 1063. Hard Rock Bet, it's Florida's official sportsbook. Try Hard Rock Bet now and receive up to $100 back in bonus bets if your first bet does not win. Hard Rock Bet, roll with us. It's offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling, call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell it.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. The match is officially underway. The Bay versus LA Golf Club here at TGL on a Monday. We are at SoFi Center. We are on the road. Theo Dorsey, myself, C-Cat on the right side of me, not on the other side of the glass on the ones and twos, but instead kicking it feet up, wind breezing through. And back in the City Play Studios, we have Espresso Martina. Tina is in the house, but not on the remote. Why can't we see you here today, Tina? What gives? You got some busy work to do at the office?
I did have some busy work I needed to do, so I figured you and C-Cat could just have a day at TGL.
Well, we can't hear Tina. She's not in OL right now, but I'm sure whatever she said is very good.
Okay,
Can you hear me
I
now?
thought you could hear. Okay, yeah.
Can you hear me
You
now?
were looking, so you knew what was going on.
Tina, was it important what you just said or no? Can we just skip it?
No, it wasn't important at all.
All right, cool.
Let's just keep moving on.
I don't want the audience to have to hear it twice.
Yes,
It's not important.
I'm just letting you two have a day today, and I'm just here.
Yeah, that's cool. That's good. We'll hold it down over there. C-Cat, this is something. I want to get this off for those fans out here in South Florida who, if you're like me, you're not really enjoying the Miami Heat games. The overtime loss to the Knicks, that really stings. But also just the lack of offensive firepower, the lack of a real go-to guy. Tyler Hero, I think somebody said something about his overtime stats. I believe he is like 3 for 20 with 8 total points in 7 overtimes so far this season. He's not been the number one option you would need when it matters most. The big dog for the Florida Panthers, Matthew Tkachuk, C-Cat, just, insult to injury. The Panthers shutting down Matthew Tkachuk for the rest of the regular season with a groin injury. And the worst part about it is it's the groin injury that he suffered during the Four Nations face-off. Why do the NBA players not do All-Star Weekend and they're not competitive enough? Oh, somebody go find me PK Saban. Somebody go find me PK. These guys don't want it and the fans hate them for it. And you get paid $50 million a year as a basketball player, and if you have a contract extension coming up and you have to get shut down for the rest of the regular season, so now people are calling your health into concern for the long-term future all over a damn exhibition. Now you see why they said, now, this sucks for Panthers fans, but it alludes to exactly to why the NBA players do what they do.
It does suck for Panthers fans, but it will make you, as a sports fan, love Tkachuk more now than ever. Like, what he risked and suffer the consequences of his risk.
Yeah.
It's like, it's so much payment. Like, I know he's making millions, and he's still going to make millions, but he's not going to be on the ice in this playoff run. He might in this playoff race.
Yeah, to improve their seed, he won't be there for them. And again, if it's that serious of an injury, you have to think at the very least he'll be affected by it in the Stanley Cup playoffs. So he's 27 years old, right? He's still kind of young.
He's 27.
A guy. Yeah. What you think, he was younger or older?
I thought he was so much older. He looks a
all
lot
hockey
older
players.
than 27.
Hockey players age like milk.
Yeah, like what the hell is that? You see,
it's
on
weird.
ice.
Visually, they age like milk, but they play till they're old.
Yeah.
They're able to play when they're old. I don't know what that's about, but they certainly are able to. I don't know. Maybe ice skating is easier on the joints than running. That's my first guess.
That was look. Be careful saying anything about hockey is easy, because when I say baseball is easy, people get mad and they bicker and they comment on YouTube. I think a hockey player might come over here and smack us with a stick. Dudes are crazy. So it's very difficult what you're doing out there.
Do you think that an injury like this, he's one of the top names, he's the top name on Team USA. I know the Four Nations face-off is not planned for next year, the year after that, but the next time they have a reason to have the Four Nations face-off, will they think otherwise about either playing in it or setting it up altogether?
No, because I think the culture of not just the NHL but hockey in general is to always just leave it all out there, especially when you bring your nation into it and you're playing for Team USA or Team Canada or whatever, or Finland. Like, those guys are going to get after it and give full effort, and I think they should. The other side of that, too, is, again, like, it matters for Tkachuk to do that for Team USA in the Four Nations face-off. It would not matter for Devin Booker to do that for Team East in the All-Star Weekend game. It just doesn't. It's just different.
That's true, and you'll hear Mike Rizzo talk about this on Russo and Rizzo from 4 to 6 on ESPN 106.3 about how in soccer, in football, like there is designed breaking of a season, like in those top leagues in England and stuff like that, for international play, because it's deeply ingrained in the culture of the Premier League and other major soccer leagues overseas, because it matters. The World Cup, Copa America, stuff like that, it matters so much for those guys, and hockey has a little bit of that rub.
Contrastly, and again, like, I know you can't see it from here, Tina, back in the studio, contrastly, you look like a guy, Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid, who went out whilst injured to go play for Team USA during the Summer Olympics in Paris because he wanted to go fight for a gold medal. Now, again, he wasn't necessarily doing it for his country. Did it for our country, but hey, I'm going to pat him on the back for that. I mean, I guess it's his country now as well, but isn't he got like 2 other countries he could have picked, and he picked Team USA, and they went on to win the gold medal, and that's part of the reason why likely he's now officially shut down for the Sixers. He was playing on bad wheels. He's already an injury-prone player, and this season he hasn't looked right at all. Like, again, NBA players willing to do it for a gold medal, not willing to do it for one random night in Toronto on All-Star Weekend. It just ain't going to make sense.
I think you almost talk about society, right, and what you prioritize. Like, the everyday man from day to day really has to prioritize money very high in their life because their livelihood depends on it. When you get to a certain level of stardom or in your craft, specifically as an athlete, you have the flexibility of moving money on the priority list a little bit further down because you are making millions or you are making hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars and then more money in endorsements and outside ventures that you can raise pride in one's country up that priority list knowing that you are risking dollars doing that.
Yeah.
And maybe more than just pride in one's country, maybe it is your ego that's making you play in these games because someone else does. You want to do it for your own reputation because if Sid the Kid's playing in the Four Nations face-off, why shouldn't I as well? So there's other at play than just country pride.
That's why I'm okay with people criticizing LeBron James because he's the one that deprioritized the regular season and All-Star Weekend first. He made it cool to deprioritize those events that are fan-driven and also very entertaining, and all the greats did it before him. So it's a fair criticism of LeBron to say he's the issue there, and everybody after him kind of followed suit. If he was doing it in high effort and kind of like even what Kobe was doing at some points, right? Like he was giving it his all, you might see a spike up more of that from other players. And like you just said again as well, for Tkachuk, doing it for his country, going to matter. For NBA players like Curry, who's old and has long off season or short off seasons all the time, he went and did it for his country. It mattered. I don't know if you can ever make that matter during All-Star Weekend for the NBA. You just can't.
Yeah.
You just can't because the regular season doesn't even matter in the NBA. Why the hell would they care about an exhibition in the middle of it?
That's a good point, yeah.
Goodness. Cena, do you know what makes any game, even if it matters or not, way more worthy? And, again, I could have used one of these when I was, hacking it up at the golf course this morning.
A
nice
cocktail?
Cocktail of the day. What we got cooked up, and today's cocktail of the day is presented to you by Duffy's Sports Grill. And if Damien could give us a little Sabrina Carpenter a little espresso. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Cocktail of the day. Tina, happy hour. What's that?
So today is International Irish Whiskey Day. So we are doing a drink called Brotherhood. And this is Irish whiskey.
Brotherhood. You didn't lock it.
No, brother. This is
Brotherhood,
kind of
and then
we lock it.
Lock it. Okay, that's
keep it
okay.
like brotherhood.
Brotherhood. Okay, go Tina.
Are you guys doing something? I can't see you, so I feel like you
Neither
guys are.
can the radio audience. I thought you would
Yeah.
keep talking. I'm sorry.
Well, you guys are talking behind me. I can hear you. But the Brotherhood is Irish whiskey, Benedictine, Grand Marnier, lemon juice, and then it's garnished with a lemon peel.
So
Super
little
simple.
Yeah.
Super simple.
I like that. That's a good little blend. I like a good Irish whiskey. I can vibe off that. I can thrive off
The
that.
picture
Famous
looks
Irishman.
great.
Yeah.
Shane Lowry's about a hole of 17.5-foot putt.
Oh, he did.
Uh-huh.
There we go. Just as you gave us the cocktail of the day with the Irish whiskey, Shane Lowry has the fans jumping here at the SoFi Center. So I appreciate that, Tina. And that's brought to you by Duffy Sports Grill, our cocktail of the day. Order one of these at Duffy's today because Duffy's is once again voted the best sports grill in 2024. Award-winning burgers and wings, plus a weekday lunch deal. That includes the Duffy's Double Play. Starts at just $7.99. $7.99 for the Duffy's Double Play at lunch. And Duffy's 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. Make sure you sign up for free to get your Duffy's MVP card and start earning rewards today. And your favorite game or sporting event is always on at a Duffy's. Over 80 televisions in every location. You'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. At Duffy's, our game is always on. Tina was there at the Cognizant Classic yesterday, man. Tina's been there all week. Has this weekend been as hectic for you as it's been for me, man? We've had so many events and functions and parties. It's been great, though, but I'm exhausted.
I don't think I was as busy as you. I was helping, I was getting information to give to you to go to events throughout the weekend. So I think you had way more things going on than I did. But I was at the Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches for 4 days, so I am a little bit exhausted, but nothing like your schedule.
That sun would get to you, you know, out there. If you're not under one of the tents or activations for a while when you're out walking, because CCAT followed some golfers here and there.
Yeah, I did the Cognizant Classic a couple of ways, 2 different ways. One day, on Sunday, we were in the Bear Trap for a little bit, just watching the 17th hole and the 16th green, a cool angle to have there, especially with the all-you-can-drink included.
Yeah. Seltzers, wines, beers, all of that in there. Come on.
What I did on Saturday was, for the first time ever in my life, I picked one pairing and I followed them from hole 1 all the way until hole 18.
Wow.
It was so much fun. That is the best time I've ever had at a golf event.
Yeah.
And I implore anybody who's thinking about getting into golf, getting excited about golf, maybe going to their first ever PGA Tour or even live event, it's go follow a pair the entire way, because you will grow a new appreciation for the game, and the walking is so much easier because you're not thinking about all the steps you're putting. You're thinking about catching up with your pairing and specifically your favorite golfer. I followed Joel Damon, who got in the mix. He had a big eagle putt that I watched, a nice chip in that I watched, and a par save on 18. It was incredible. And I picked Joel Damon because he wasn't a Ricky Fowler or a Jordan Spieth, or another one of those really big names that would have a big crowd around following his every move. Joel Damon, it was me and like maybe 15 other people, so everyone had a front row seat to whatever they wanted to see. That was incredible. I implore everybody to do the same.
Did all 15 of y'all do from 1 to 18? Or did some people kind of teetered off here and there?
We probably had a core 6 that were 1 through 18.
Did y'all become friends?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, we respected the people that were in flip-flops. That was one couple. They had flip-flops on, and they had kind of a floral print, both matching. We had a guy in a tan hat, and I had a guy that we were talking about the Netflix show. So we kind of had we respected, when someone came in at 8 and finished off, we didn't respect them as much as the true 1 through 18 folk.
After you do 1 through 18 with a group like that, around a very obscure golfer, how do you end the day?
Well, you end the day the same way that golfers end their 18 holes. You take your hat and shake hands. You got to take your hat off and shake hands. Hey, good game, good game.
Yeah, hey, we'll see you next year.
Exactly. It was a great time. If you didn't do it this year, Tina or Theo, it's about a 4-hour commitment.
Wait, did you do it with Deanna, your girlfriend?
Yeah.
So she hung in there the whole time. She no complaints, chilling. Y'all are walking in the sun, nothing.
Had a great time.
Wow.
So
Tina, how many holes could you do in a row?
So I actually did the same thing CCAT did on Saturday, and that was my first. But I didn't do all 18 holes.
So then don't say what you do. Hold on,
I was similar. It was similar. No, wait. It was the first time. It was the first time.
To do the same thing
yes,
I did.
It was the first time at my time at the Constant Classic in the Palm Beaches that I did actually follow a golfer and like start at one and went all the way around. I made it to. I didn't like go fully through. Like I made it to every hole, but like I didn't follow them the whole time. Like I did stop and get a cocktail, which like I had to like wait in line, so I might have like missed them, but then caught back up with them. So I did like walk the whole thing. I did over 15,000 steps on Saturday, which it was.
Who'd you follow? What golfers?
I was following Ben Griffin. One of our teammates here actually has. They're good friends, and I was meeting up with them, and they're like, "Hey, we're following Ben Griffin," and he was actually with Ricky Fowler on Saturday, so it was a much bigger crowd, more than 15 people. But it was really fun to actually walk the course, which I never had really the chance to any year that I've been. And I enjoyed it. I would do it again.
You know what was more fun than both of those walkings?
What?
Yellow Flamingo Club.
I was fangirling Theo yesterday.
Oh, that was great. It was a great time. The vibes were great in the Yellow Flamingo Club.
You can't guarantee that.
I can't guarantee. You're right. I have not walked in your shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Quite
Tina,
literally.
If you can give me a moment, can I apologize? What you did was very commendable.
Thank
Walking
you.
18 holes, not being able to see every shot, that was commendable. And I take back my knock. Okay,
he was ready to. He was ready to
he
just.
was ready, yeah.
He's been doing that all day. Yeah, I said Travis Hunter has a really bright NFL future. CCAT was like, he will never win an MVP. I'm like, whoa,
wow,
whoa,
a little feisty.
Give him a shot. Give him a chance.
Yeah.
But yesterday
over here.
at hole 18, I was I was team Theo at hole 18 though yesterday.
Yeah.
When I made it
You saw me out there.
I did. I saw Theo announcing.
Yeah, I was announcing the players, the final 10 groups that came in. I was at 18 in the Yellow Flamingo Club, had a little microphone off to the left, you know what I'm saying? So I would peek down there, and when they're walking up, after they hit their approach shot onto the green, hopefully onto the green, if they're me, and they're walking up, I'll give them a little, now approaching the green, Ben Griffin and Ricky Fowler.
Did you mess anyone's name up?
Almost.
So
Absolutely almost.
Almost as in walked up to the mic and got corrected real quick?
No,
or actually
no.
said the name almost incorrectly?
There was only one pairing that had me absolutely flustered before I did it. And it was, here we go. Yeah. Matthew Pavone, which is cool. I can do Matthew Pavone. That's easy.
Yeah, because it's not spelled like the American or the English spelling of Matthew. It's spelled in the French
it's
way
like
to
Matthew.
spell. Yeah.
Matthew Pavone. But I can do that. That's easy.
Mm-hmm.
But he was paired with Rikuya Hoshino. And
Hoshino.
I said Hoshino.
Mm-hmm.
So I should have said Hoshino?
I don't actually know.
Exactly. So I said Hoshino, and even after I said it, I kind of said it and kind of like just swallowed it. I was like, Rikuya Hoshino. And just kept it pushing. And you know what? Round of applause. Nobody said anything, so I think I did nail it. We'll probably have to go back and review the tape. But that was a lot of fun, and I was most nervous for that. The rest of them, easy.
Yeah, I feel like when you mispronounce something or someone, you just got to do it fast and move on.
Strong. You got to go for it.
If you dwell on it, it makes it 10 times worth. Because odds are there are people who were not listening anyway.
Yeah.
And calling attention to your mix-up or your mistake will make them realize that you made a mistake.
Yes.
Just blow right through it. That's a little free lesson for anyone trying to get into the biz like me, Theo, and Mike Rizzo.
The most thankless job.
And Tina.
The most thankless job.
Right here, so I didn't
he didn't see you. He didn't see you with his eye. The most thankless job, Tina, and I think you'll agree, in America is the person that like calls people's names at graduations. What do you call that? Like the announcer at a graduation?
Yeah.
You can only screw that up. You can never do a good job. Nobody's ever going to like you because you can say names perfectly with the perfect amount of exuberance, but either they hate you because it's taking too long or they're going to absolutely despise you because you're going to mess one syllable up in one kid's name, and they're going to hold that against you for the rest of your life.
We should actually change the game then. Someone should start juggling while they do that because that would be impressive. If they're doing kind of a party trick while they're announcing my son or daughter as she walks across the stage and never drops a tennis ball or a bowling pin, I would be more involved in the graduation. I've only been to one graduation in my life, and I hated it.
Was it yours?
Well, okay. I went to my high school graduation, graduated college during COVID, so I didn't even have a graduation there. I went to my sister's college graduation.
Yeah. It's not, graduations aren't very fun.
No, not at all.
But But the 18th hole was, Tina, you saw when I said Ben Griffin, people started cheering.
Yes,
I don't know if it was for him or for me.
It was a fun like I don't remember in years past. I've never again like this is the first year that I actually like walked throughout the holes. Like I didn't know you could be that close, and it was a cool experience. I again would do it again. But the 18th hole, it was popping. I love that you were there.
Yeah, it is fun though. I will agree. I just don't know if I honestly I don't even know if I would be able to do walking a full 18 outside of the ropes with a golf pairing. I know for sure my wife Ashley would be having none of it. She wants to be in Yellow Flamingo Club.
Yeah.
She wants to be eating ceviche and getting cocktails to order and having a big shaded tent under. She was doing work and whatnot on the laptop. There's no way in hell she would have did 2 holes with me, let alone 18. But you know what? For each his or her own. On the other side, we're going to get the last call from Tina. We're going to play a little midday midterms, assess some grades on some things, and another update from TGL. Tina, we've got to give the people what the playoff formatting and stuff is going to look like, because today and tomorrow going to do a lot to shape what the postseason will be here at SoFi Center. So CCAT's going to handle the bulk of that because, well, he's TGL CCAT. That's TGL Cat. That's Tina. That's Kat. I'm Theo Dorsey. We are in the happy hour of Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Welcome to TGL, presented by SoFi, golf's newest league. It's sharp and it's electric. How is it sharp? How is it electric? Good questions. Try this on for size. 2 hours of hammer dropping, overtime, forcing, playoffs on the line, golf. With 24 of the best players from the PGA Tour. Split into 6 teams. Atlanta, Boston, Jupiter, LA, New York, and the Bay. This isn't your average Sunday pickup game. Tune in every week for TGL matches, only on ESPN. Keep up. It's golf.
On ESPN 106.3, you heard? UConn cut down the nets in the NCAA men's basketball tournament.
UConn repeats as national champions back to back.
This is ESPN 106.3, where champions are crowned.
The quality of our choices affects the quality of our lives. So, when it comes to how you move, do you choose to see a doctor or go to the #1 orthopedic specialist in the world, backed by a team who custom tailor your treatment? Do you choose to live with limitations or live life to the fullest by going to the place that's #1 at getting people back to what they love? Choose better, move better. Locations in West Palm Beach and Wellington. Learn more at hss.edu/Florida.
We are proud of our parents. Want to know why? Because they work for the school district of Palm Beach County. There's lots of great jobs with paid vacation, holidays off, healthcare, and retirement. You can be in the same schedule as your kids. Come work at the school district of Palm Beach County. You'll see why it's your best choice.
Join us at the Team Palm Beach Schools Job Fair. Register at palmbeachschools.org/job fair. That's palmbeachschools.org/job fair.
Hi, I'm Scott Smith with Smith Ball Baez and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. As you have likely seen and heard, law firm advertising is at an all-time high. Attorney ads seem to be part of every radio and TV commercial segment. Some firms are even using paid actors and actresses to speak for them. At Smith Ball Baez and Prather, we know that the decision to hire a law firm should never be based on advertisements alone. It is our past results and many positive 5-star reviews that we encourage you to read at smithball.com to learn more about our law firm. We have board-certified lawyers. We have lawyers listed in the best lawyers in America and in super lawyers. But most importantly, we have experienced lawyers located right here in Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast that are ready to be your advocate and your voice, and fully prepared to start fighting for your legal rights today. Our purpose, legal power. Our mission, huge results. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith Ball Baez and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith Ball Baez and Prather, help is just a local phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
Introducing the bold, the powerful, the all-new 2025 Range Rover Sport P360 SE. A luxury SUV that commands attention with its refined design, dynamic performance, and cutting-edge technology. Lease the 2025 Range Rover Sport for just $12.99 per month for 36 months. Drive in style, power, and comfort, all for just $12.99 a month. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and take the new Range Rover Sport for a spin. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
This tweet here from Jordan Schultz. The Patriots, with the most cap space by far, are set to be aggressive, especially at wide receiver. They tried and fell short last year, but with Drake May, they should have an easier time attracting talent and are willing to spend, whether through free agency or a blockbuster trade. I know just a guy. This is probably why the Bengals tagged T. Higgins at $26 million a year, because the Patriots were likely going to be the biggest bidder for Higgins on the open market, and that means they'll be a big bidder for the wide receiver through trade if that's what it comes to. And the Bengals can't let a guy like T. Higgins walk for free. Either that or being cheap again, and either way I could see this kind of biting them in the butt. You don't want bad contaminants or toxins in your water to bite you in the backside. So instead, I invite you and implore you to just say, "Hey, Culligan man." "Hey, Culligan man" is all you got to say. There it is. I didn't know Damien. Hey, one more time, Damien. Play it for him.
Hey, Culligan man.
It's not always possible to see contaminated water coming out of the faucet, but the taste is difficult to ignore. And what about the plastics and the pharmaceuticals now in the water? The team at Culligan understands this, and they can help remove these from your water. Culligan offers water testing and reverse osmosis systems. I've got both after getting my water tested for free. I got the reverse osmosis system. I absolutely love showing people the difference between my sink water, and then you hit the button and then boom, that's drinking water. One of my favorite party tricks since I got Culligan installed. It's all designed to filter out those contaminants right at the source. Culligan has been helping out the local community since 1936. All right, they're coming up on a century mark. So get your free water test today at Culligan.com and just say, "Hey, Culligan man."
Hey, Culligan man.
There it is. That's my dog, Damien, coming in clutch with it. Tina, it's time for us to do a little midday midterms. You got your grading pen with you?
I
red
do.
Marker? Did you ever be the grader for like your English teacher or math teacher? Were you ever that person? Raise your hand. Score the test.
Like you get detention so that you have to stay back and help the teacher grade. That's what you do when you're in detention.
Sometimes, like some of my grade school teachers would like have people volunteer to help grade quizzes or tests for them. No, people would just do it.
I was never entrusted with that duty. I don't know what that means though.
Well, I mean,
the fact that I wasn't entrusted with that, I don't know what that says about me or my teacher's perception of me.
Lack of character.
I never did
Tina?
that.
I know you did.
Never did that. No.
Wow. A couple of hooligans I'm sitting here doing a show with. Well, how about we just do midday midterms, and we'll grade that way.
It's time to grade some things with midterms. Theo, Tina, I've got this to grade for you now. Are you going to grade?
Wait, I can't get no midterms music? Okay. Damn it. I can't grade without the music. It's Schoolhouse Rock. That's what gets me going. There it is.
Grade the Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches.
A+, especially from the Yellow Flamingo Club. And I don't know who that voice was on the 18th hole, but damn it, on Sunday, that guy got the crowd rocking. I do hate that we didn't get a nap victory. It would have been nice to see the wire-to-wire win. I'm happy for Joe Highsmith. He seems like a really generous, genuine dude. Very fun ending to it all. A+ in my book. Tina?
A+. I had a great time. I got to witness Russo and Rizzo get yelled at in person. Got to walk the course for the first time, enjoy some cocktails, go into the bear trap. Oh, A+ for me. And I got to see this guy on hole 18 announce, the golfers walking up, and it was just the perfect way to end the day.
Smooth dude, by the way. Nice green shirt.
All right,
his wife was beautiful.
We got one more thing to grade.
Yes.
We got plenty more things for to grade.
Yeah.
But the next up to grade on Theoretically Speaking's edition of Midday Midterms, grade the big hat the winner wore. I forgot the name of the winner.
Joe Highsmith.
Joe Highsmith.
Yeah.
Wore the big Seacat style golf hat. How'd you like his hat?
Well, that's the thing. The first question Todd Fleming had for him after he raised up the Cognizant Classic and the Palm Beaches Trophy was, have you been in Seacat's closet? Where did you find swag like that? I actually like it, man. I'm a big bucket hat guy, and that's somewhere in between a bucket hat and, I don't, like, what do you call it?
Kentucky Derby hat? Like, it's in the middle between those two.
I love it. I love it. So I'm not going to give it an A+. I give it an A-. It's a good hat.
Are you going to start sporting it? I mean, if it's an A- is pretty good.
I would like to. I just don't have any. I mean, I just got to find one.
I'll get it. I'll get one for you.
Yeah,
how about that?
You do have that store. Give me that store behind. When we get off the air, I know we don't give them free pub. Give me that store. Tina, grade the floppy hat.
I'm going to give it an A. I also thought of Seacat right when I saw him, and I knew he would like to wear it, but I also appreciate it because I feel like he got some shade. He's blocking the sun, protecting his skin, so I'm going to give it an A, and he can pull it off. I couldn't pull it off, so.
All right, next up to grade, some trade news happened over the weekend. Grade this trade for the 49ers, trading away Deebo Samuel to the Washington Commanders for a 5th-round pick.
So I'm grading it for the Commanders or for the Niners?
For the Niners.
I think this is like a B+ for the Niners. They have they have Ricky Pearsall. They'll have Brandon Ayuk coming back off of injury. I do think that Greg Jennings? Juwan Jennings, Craig Jennings, damn it. I do think they have enough to make up for whatever deficit you get without Deebo Samuel. And at 29 years old, I think you can get the kind of production that Deebo gets you after the catch out of a rookie receiver, honestly. He's not a great guy at getting open. He's just a really good utility kind of receiver. And at 29, his body's breaking down. It was time.
Now, next up, grade it for the Commanders.
Ooh, that's the toughest one. Oh, for the Commanders,
5th-round pick, and you're taking on how much money? 21.
It's not a bad contract, honestly, and it's not a lot of draft capital. So for the Commanders, it's an A-. It's a flyer. That's all that is a flyer. If he comes in and he does great, excellent. If he comes in and if he gets hurt half the season, you're not really bothered that much because you didn't expend much on it. I still think that their job's not done on the wide receiver market, though.
Got one more thing to grade for both Tina and Theo. Grade sitting front row at a stand-up comedy show. Ooh. Because you're in the splash zone. You might be targeted, but you kind of have the best seat in the house.
I did this once at one of my favorite comedians is a Hannibal Buress.
Oh, he's great.
I said, Hannibal Buress is one of my favorite comedians, and I did this at a show he had in Greensboro back when I worked in North Carolina, 2019, and he never got on me. So it was great. I was close and personal to the action. It was like 100 seats in the theater, so it was already an intimate show. It was an A+ for me, man. I absolutely loved it, and I didn't get called out for anything crazy, so I felt good.
So you kind of got lucky on that aspect because the job of the comedian is not to be your friend when he's calling you in the crowd. You're supposed to be the butt of the joke in the situations. Tina, have you ever done this? Would you ever want to be front row at a stand-up show?
I've never done this. I would never want to do this. They would easily hurt my feelings. And so I'm giving this a D because I think if I would never, if I had to do it and they didn't pick on me, great, but no thanks. I would not do that.
So I did this
hard, man.
Did this last night.
Yeah.
Buddy's girlfriend got him tickets, and I was the +1 for my friend. We saw him at the Kravis Center, Nick Swardson. And Nick Swardson, if you Google his name in TMZ, about a year ago, he had to cancel a show about 15 minutes in because he was too drunk and too much on edibles to actually function on stage. This guy who likes to drink. And he's gotten a little bit better. He's found his limit and was not in that shape last night. But he can kind of tell you how much he likes drinking. And he asked the crowd, clap if you've ever been drunk at a hotel bar. Apparently, I was the only one who didn't clap.
Wow.
And maybe at least the only one who didn't clap that he could see that close.
Yeah.
So I got called out. He got really close to me, pointed me out, and was yelling at me and berating me. And you know, I didn't really know what to do other than sit there and smile. Like, well, I'm going to mic in my hand. I'm not going to talk. So that was interesting. But I would do it again.
Wait, what was he yelling at you?
Like has I ever lived? Are you better than everyone else here? I just have never been drunk at a hotel bar because it's too expensive. That's the only reason.
You don't become drunk at a hotel bar. You end up at a hotel bar already drunk trying to get one more. That's the you know, I would hope you don't sit there from square zero and spend $25 a drink and get drunk.
How do you get to a hotel bar drunk?
It's the after party. Let's say
sorry.
you Uber home.
I messed up. I meant to say airport bar. I was trying to say airport bar. Have you ever gotten drunk at an airport bar? Have you ever been drunk at an airport bar?
Yes.
That changes the story. That's
Yes, also. And I would grade that an A+. I would grade that an
but
A+.
also, too expensive. The prices at a
Much
hotel
too
bar
expensive.
are just impossible for me, so I got
Airport.
berated for never being drunk at an airport bar. Tina, how about you?
I've never done either. I've ended up at a hotel bar like as a last resort, but never.
Man,
never an
you
airport
ain't never
bar.
been at a convention? I know countless conventions I've been at where that's, you tie another one on at the hotel bar. You sit, maybe not even get another drink at the hotel bar, but you end up there and you're drunk. I said airport bar again, didn't I? Hotel bar is much more common. Airport bar, I've done it a few times when I'm like on a big trip, like a vacation style trip with the fellas. We'll get some shots and whatnot. We'll get it going,
Yeah.
Early start.
Yeah, so that's how I got berated sitting front row at Nick Swartzen's comedy show at the Travis Center last night, because I've never gotten drunk at an airport bar.
Yeah.
Haven't been drunk at a hotel bar either, but yeah.
You deserve it. And why don't you bite back, man? You got to fight back in these situations.
No, you don't. That's not, It's
what are you supposed, what's the etiquette there?
Laugh along.
I told you, we went to the last comedy show I went to was a small comedy show. It was like an open mic comedy, 15 people in there. And once the door is open and you start talking about me, involving me in your jokes, I feel like now the door is open for me to respond.
You do not know the game, my friend. That is not. No.
So what am I supposed to do?
You paid a ticket to sit in that spot.
If they ask you questions and you respond with answers, I'm no longer allowed to talk unless I'm talked to?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't raise my hand in the first place, but now that you've involved me, anything you say going forward on that stage, I can say one or two words back in your direction. You gotta live with it.
Lame as hell. Everyone will make fun of you for it, and it will only make your night worse, because
I would
they are
hope.
going to come after you
I would
and
hope.
cut you down.
I would hope they would be good enough to do so. That's their job.
And they'll be like, yeah, it's not a Q&A, so keep it shut.
Yeah, it turned into a Q&A when you did it to me.
Is it worth it, though? Is it worth it? Because he's going to be a whole lot better at that than you are when you give your own
I'm helping him
commentary.
out. I'm throwing him a lob then. Am I not? You just said that.
No, because you are also, because
This
you're
is
throwing
bad
him
for
off
my
there.
brand?
No, it's not. No. I'm saying he's going to throw him off of his material. He's got a point A to point B in a story to get to, or in material
No, but
to get to.
I wouldn't be a jerk about it. I wouldn't be just jumping left and right in it. But if later on in it he says something, triggers me, boom, right back at you. It's gonna happen. Stop trying to protect comics, dude. What are you, freaking the last bastion for stand-up comedians?
Yes, I am.
Horny, man.
Can't
That's
wait
why he
to
berated you.
I cannot wait until our punchline picks pay off.
Yeah.
Where me and you will get on stage and I have refined my material. Because I made some changes. and they're so funny. And they're not going to make anyone angry.
Yeah.
Most importantly.
Oh, I wish I could retell the story. On the other side, we have the last call. We're moments away from stepping inside of SoFi Center for some TGL action. So stick around for Tina's last call. And again, we still have to give the people the update on that TGL.
We'll get that after. We'll get that on the other side.
We'll do that on the other side. That's Tina, that's CCAT. I'm Theo Dorsey. But theoretically speaking, on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Hi, this is Scott Smith of Smith Ball, Baez, and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. I have said it many times before, and I will continue to say it for many years to come. There is never a good time for a car accident to occur. And most certainly, never ever a good time to suffer injuries in any type of an accident. The accident and its overall aftermath will usually cause pain, difficulty, and stress. Florida law allows accident victims to recover compensation for such losses, injuries, and damages. But such recovery is often not obtained easily and can require a lengthy fight with an insurance company. If you've been injured in an accident, call us now. Don't delay. The initial consultation is completely free of charge. The sooner you call us, the sooner we can put our experienced legal team to work for you. Don't hesitate or pause for another minute. Our experience, knowledge, and resources could be working for you just minutes after the call. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith Ball, Baez, and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith Ball, Baez, and Prather, help is just a phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
At St. Lucie Battery and Tire, batteries came before tires. We've been selling and servicing all types of batteries for over 50 years. So when you need a battery for nearly anything, we have it, as well as the fast, professional installation you need. We carry premium batteries for all your needs: automotive, commercial, marine, RV, and specialty. We also offer delivery and on-site installation, serving our customers quality products for over 50 years in the home of honest, reliable service. Go to slbt.com and book your next appointment.
As market dynamics change, the quality and service you receive from your accounting firm shouldn't. Partner-owned since 1923, Anshin Accountants and Advisors take the time to get to know you and your unique circumstances to help resolve complex issues and develop innovative tax and accounting solutions tailored to meet your goals. If you're a high net worth individual or business owner eager for a strategy to maximize tax savings, let Anshin deliver value where others can't. Visit ANCHIN.com. Anshin Accountants and Advisors, recalculating what's possible.
While it's not always possible to see contaminated water coming out of the faucet, the taste is difficult to ignore. And what about plastics and pharmaceuticals now in the water? The team at Culligan is here to help. Culligan offers water testing and reverse osmosis systems designed to filter out those contaminants right at the source. Culligan has been helping the local community with water issues since 1936. Schedule your appointment today at Culligan.com.
Hey, Culligan man!
So let it rip.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
3 letters, TGL. Like 8 minutes till we get to walk in there and see it happening in 3 points. That's the gap right now between the LA Golf Club and the Bay. The Bay currently up 3-0. 7 holes into this TGL match. But C-Cat, you need to give the good people an update on not just what the postseason will look like in TGL and how there might be some changes, but also what teams look like they're headed to play some playoff golf.
Yep, so the matchup we're right in the middle of right now on ESPN is the Bay versus LA, as you mentioned before, and through 6 holes, the Bay leads LA 3-0. The winner of that match gets the number 1 seed guaranteed. The Bay and LA. Again, the Bay with the 3-0 lead. Now for the other teams, we got a matchup tonight between Boston Common Golf and New York Golf Club. These are teams that are fighting to stay alive. They want to make the playoffs. 4 of the 6 teams in the SoFi Cup standings make the playoffs. For New York Golf Club, that's a team that, of course, does have Xander Schauffele, who's under the weather right now. For New York Golf Club, they clinch a playoff berth with a win tonight versus Boston, or an overtime loss versus Boston and a Jupiter loss versus Atlanta tomorrow. Or they can clinch a playoff berth with a loss versus Boston tonight, a Jupiter loss, or an overtime loss versus Atlanta, and more holes, more won than Boston and Jupiter. Wow, a whole lot going on.
It's convoluted.
For the Jupiter Links Golf Club, they clinch a playoff berth, that's Tiger's team, with a win versus Atlanta and a New York loss versus Boston tonight.
That's the only one I care about. So Jupiter's got to win tomorrow, and they need Boston to win tonight. So I'm rooting for Boston tonight.
You sure are.
Oh, my
Keegan
gosh.
Bradley. Boston Common Golf, they are also struggling. They are 0-3-1. Yeah, seriously, 0-3-1. Yeah. They make the playoffs with a win versus New York and a Jupiter loss versus Atlanta and more holes won than New York. So they got a lot to go their way. And they also can clinch a playoff win with a win versus New York and a Jupiter overtime loss to Atlanta and more holes won than New York and Jupiter. That is your TGL playoff scenarios. We're in the middle of match 13 today, another one tonight, and another one tomorrow.
With that said, last call by Tina. Let's get it going.
So,
there it is, yeah.
We're going to keep it on Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches. And winner, Joe Highsmith, said this less than 24 hours ago. Fill in the blank, 5 words. Winning.
I love my floppy hat.
No. Good job by you, but no. Winning was the...
Pretty good. That was 5 words. Only thing that mattered.
Last thing on my mind.
Yes, C-Cat. Good job. Nope, C-Cat got it.
Really?
Wow.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
the last
thing on my mind.
Probably because he that was really good. That was excellent. That was excellent. You must have watched that post round interview. He made the cut with a putt and was right on the number.
Yeah, he was on the cut line.
And
First guy to do that in a long time.
Like 9 years, I believe, to win the tournament after making it on the cut line. That's crazy. So, yeah, again, congratulations, Joe Highsmith, making history out at the Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches. 2025 champions been crowned. TGL, Monday, we're kicking it. We'll be vibing inside the SoFi Center in just a moment. Russo and Rizzo next here on ESPN 106.3. Go in love, go in peace, go enjoy.
Florida. NASCAR weekend at Homestead Miami Speedway. Go get it done. Where high octane meets the high banks. And gear up for spring break in the